Good morning. Welcome to Flat Earth Early Bird number 1565. I'm your host, Arwin. And before I start the show, please don't forget to share it on any platform you deem fit. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification so you know when I'm going live, which is normally 1 p.m. Amsterdam time in the weekdays and 2 p.m. Amsterdam time in the weekend. And please also do support me through the PayPal and the Patreon. That would be much appreciated, and I can always use the support, so please keep it coming. Right. Weather today is, yes, kind of similar as yesterday, but it's a little bit more moist in the air. It seems more clouds, not so much sun coming through, so it's not, I don't know. Yesterday was like really great. Today it's still nice, but it's a bit more cloudy. Right. But it still feels like springtime, so still waiting for the trees right in front of me here to start blooming. Their pink blossom. They're taking their time. I've seen other pink blossom trees out there that have already sprung their flowers, but not these ones yet. Maybe they bloom a little later. Right. Anyway. Hello, Tarek306, first in chat. Good to see you. It is Sunday, the 9th of April, 2023. Right. Hello, Moxie. Glenn Salch. Do I garden? Well, not right now. I don't have a garden. But I have in the past. I do have a couple of pot plants. Or herb plants, more likely. Yeah. Not really for the beauty of it. That I keep in the kitchen, but I mean, yeah, that's about it, really. Let's check the temperature. Hey, Richard G, good to see you. It's 14 degrees Celsius. Right. Right. Any northern lights? Strains? What? Are you talking about cannabis growing? Yeah, no. Man, it was a late night last night. I, well, still slept pretty good, but man, like cutting down on the salt really has helped. Oh, yeah, almost forgot. Dude, like something really like spiritual, really interesting happened with me like last night when I was doing my routines. I mean, that was like surreal feeling it. Okay? Like for real. And I think that some things might have like changed. I was completely full of that right after, but I mean, it's going to be a bit difficult to even like explain that experience. But what it basically came down to, it was just like arranging my body, everything, like doing my routine, my technique, and that worked great. But then I just noticed like there's like this hook or something. Like I was looking for tags, right? And specifically, well, because of the recent situations that like emotional entanglements, right? Gateways of manipulation potentially. I mean, this is all very ethereal, right? But I'm saying it. Trying to get better at this and explaining it. But there was like this grip somewhere like in my intestines, and I'm kind of used to that. Like it's a default part of me. And even like when my healer does his thing, it doesn't really go away, although it kind of does let go and all that. But as I was doing my routine, like it wouldn't go away. So then I kind of like actively tried something out. And I said like let the hooks like unhook me. And then I experienced something that like totally shocked me. Because like in my guts, like through my feeling body, so nothing physical, it literally felt like that knot thing was a hook. And it literally did like this. And like, whoa, it's just gone. And I could, dude, like all kinds of memories came back to me as that happened. Like it's been a clamp that's been on there for a very, very long time, like since my teens. And I started to notice that even like inside my belly, like this region, the chakra arguably, I don't know, but it was, I could feel it around there, just started to like form its own vision tapping center. I don't know how else to explain it. It like formed its own vision. Like how I focus when I focus on my visions, it's usually like here. It's like in my head region. But now it was like another vision. And it was located there. I know it sounds really weird, right? But that's what I experienced. It was surreal, and it reminded me like, yeah, that's how I used to feel when I was younger. I have all these energy mechanics that just happen naturally, and there was more of it when I was young, and I think that I might have like unhooked a certain knot that has been there for a very long time, and I didn't even expect that to happen. And what it has done effectively when I started to analyze my system is that I think that I'm like more sensitive, or I've always been sensitive, but it was part of a self-defense mechanism in a way. It was like to ensure the energy wouldn't run too high because of the potential manic and depression risk. And I don't know, it's changed, so I don't know what's gonna happen. Like at that time I felt like, holy shit, this might mean that my like significant portions of my personality expression might just change. But I don't know. It's weird that I almost forgot about that this morning, right? So dude, there's all kinds of things happening with me and what I'm doing and how I'm managing my internal energy. It's, to me, it's very fascinating. To some of you, it might be like, what the fuck is he talking about? And I get it. It is all very ethereal. It's all like basically within my experience of my sensories through my body and all that, and now I've learned to manage that, basically how to deal with that and manage it, analyze it, draw conclusions. But that's a thing that happened yesterday, and that was really surprising. It was kind of scary. I thought first like, oh shit, because I mean, even intuitively, even though I didn't know what it really was anymore, why it is there, because you're not gonna keep pondering on it for 20 years straight. When it unhooked, I immediately felt why it was originally there. And I felt like, oh, potential danger, warning. And then I cross-referenced it to like, oh, but overall system realization. Like, I think I can handle this now. Like 20 years ago, I was not able to handle it without the hook as a security measure tying things down a bit. And now it's unhooked and I feel like I can actually handle this now, right? And also makes a lot of sense, even again, cross-referencing to my big vision moment, why, again, I want to be like that now. I want to have that now. Because, well, I had all this power, but not the ability to wield it. And then when I saw that I would in the future, I was really jealous at my future self. Weird shit. Anyway. Yeah, so I was watching LVA Paul and the Hammer on refracted philosophy. I was hanging there for a bit just in Discord before they even went live. Had a whole long conversation with them, hours. And yeah, the show, and then Ruif came on. It was kind of funny, but it was very late. I stuck to chat. Ruif wanted to get me over it. Like, yeah, no, Ruif. I'm gonna stay in chat and I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. But it was hilarious, and Ruif is such a sneaky bastard. I mean, he's so manipulative. It's just unbelievable. And he loves doing it. He loves being a wizard like that and trying to fool people. Very devious. Let's see if I can find a link for that. Oh, there's no direct link for it. Okay, then I'll just find it through my browser. Right, in between Saturday. So this is it. You might see me in chat there if they still have the chat visible. But yeah, that was kind of interesting to hang around, and I mean the guys, albeit Paul, Hammer, were pretty good, pretty sharp, maybe even a bit too sharp. I mean they became very aware that Ruif was trying to manipulate them at some point, but then they stalled, and it was kind of annoying. But I mean, this is what kept me up. Right. Other than that, it was a pretty just mellow, calm day. Did a bunch of cleaning. Roommate left a mess in the oven, and then I just cleaned the whole thing. Yeah, right. So yeah, that's about it. Okay, now I'm gonna read what you guys are talking about in chat. Oh, you got sick again? Terry, that sucks. Yesterday with the bad news feeling again. Okay, so that's emotional entanglement then, Terry. Right. Not anymore. Okay. Okay. I don't get it. Like, are you did you really like Bob specifically? I mean, is that what I understand from you? Because if so, like, yeah, I'm not gonna tell you you're stupid or something. I mean, if you just really liked him, then you really liked him. Sometimes it just happens. But I mean, yeah, it's shocking news, but I don't get it. Hey, LVA Paul, good to see you. Because Terry, I think that Glowbuster still is gonna continue as a show. I mean, has been continuing as a show even with Bob not on it, because he hadn't been on it for a while. And there is a show also this evening for me in the evening, where they're basically gonna talk about Bob and all that. So just take it easy. Day for old truthers? No, not really. Unless you are talking about people that call themselves truthers. But who can replace Bob? Why? I mean, there is plenty of people out there. I don't understand it there. I don't see like how, like, what exactly is it that can't, yeah. I don't want to sound insane, but what about Bob can't be replaced by somebody else? Serious. Like, what peak skill did he have that is not out there in somebody else? I mean, yeah, you might have just liked the combination of it. I liked him as a person, right? I'm not blaming you if you have that. I did not have that experience personally, right? Seen just the very dirty sides of him, mostly. And then all the supposed nice sides just seem like a falsehood to me. That's how I've seen him most of the time. So, we're all unique. Right? Yeah, to a degree. But if you think that it's like it can't be replaced, well, what about it cannot be replaced? I mean, yeah, it will not be that individual. It will not be the person with that history and everything. But to say he cannot be replaced, why? I mean, I could argue for Cammy, of course, right? I mean, in my deepest sympathy towards her, like, yeah, the, Bob cannot be replaced for her. That's very certain. But, like, for the community as, like, contributing skills and all that, really? I don't know. Maybe I'm just misinterpreting the question or your statement. Anyway. Right. But yeah, I mean, look. I actually I didn't really expect him to just outright pay the piper like this. And I did see, like, if he would have lived on, then I think there would have been very much an arc of redemption, because I had seen preliminaries from him out there that he was trying. It's just that he's so hard, it's like this obstacle he's been facing all his life, but he really did try. In the last couple of times that I saw him, like, try to actually face people in voice-to-voice situations online in an honest setting without some kind of imperial protection situation, like having an authority. He did actually try that at times. It was very brave of him, because he's like really not good at that, not used to it. So he was actually going towards redemption gradually, and if he would have lived on, then he would have probably been, even to me, a likable person. But I mean, it had a long way to go, though, if he even would ever choose to start to act nice towards me or whatever. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't meant to be. Alright, yeah, Glenn Solch, I think so, pretty much. You're right. Which are closer? What? The stars at the horizon? Or the stars above you? None of them. None of them have an actual distance. Right? When you say close or far away, that immediately invokes an actual position, right? But that doesn't apply to the stars in any apparent location, because there is no actual distance to them. There's only an angle, the angle in relation to you. You think the stars on the horizon. Okay, well, that's nice that you think that, but there is no tangible evidence for that, though. No, Tarot, that's ridiculous. Doesn't work. Look, there is no too much truth, and that'll happen. What happens when you speak too much truth is that you'll get isolated. If you speak too much truth, then everybody will turn against you, including people you thought were close to you. That's how you know, right? That wasn't happening with him. Okay? Now, there's another potential hook that might lead to a demise, and that is like momentum and power. Like, how popular are you? How wealthy are you? How much people do you have that are like eager to work for you, right? Power. Now, if you go really big in that as a flat earther or a truther, yeah, then you get in trouble. You can even see this in the other fields that have nothing to do with us, right? It's like doctors or just people or whatever that are pretty wealthy, pretty respectable, and have a good reputation, and they're like popular, cool people, and like they don't lie, they're very real. Like, they are the ones that typically get nagged, yeah, judicially and all kinds of nonsense, and right, attacked through social media. It's because of the power they have. It's not because of all the level of truth. No, because there's plenty of people that do that, but if they don't have power, if they don't have all that reputation and popularity, then it just doesn't matter if they're speaking the truth, because not as many people will listen to them. That's how it works. That's who determines who gets attacked, directly or indirectly. How much power you have, not the degree of truth. So you don't have to worry about that. Not by controllers. How would you know? Like in my experience, when I kind of was screwing around with it, when you gain power, like actual power, like palpable energy power, like people and really start to like really appreciate you because of that, then there's other things that take notice. It's like extra dimensional shit starts to get involved when you do that. If I read, no. I'm not a book reader typically, Zane Solo, and never heard of David Ewing Jr. before. So, hey LSG, good to see you. How you doing, man? Ah. Ooh, something's coming out. What's happening outside my place today? I don't know, it's just sunny and birds are going around and all that. Right, so look, if you wanted to like mathematically describe it, like the problem cycle or power, the esoterics, it's like you can speak the truth, but if you do, then everybody, the purer the truth you speak, the more inconvenient that will be, and the more people will isolate you from them, keep you away from. That's how you know it's true, in a way. It's like people are on average much more capable of just letting nonsense and lies slip than facing truth that they can't handle. And that's just an esoteric formula. It works like that. That's how you know that part. But then there is the issue of power, right? If you're very little or there's something weird with you or you don't really engage, like you don't really do business, you're not like me. I'm not very entangled. That's how I call it. Financially, and my setup is really basic, and I'm just focusing on doing what I do. I don't have any attention really. I don't for like a business mind or like creating an image to be more popular, etc. Right? Because as soon as you start doing all that, then you become more successful in the world, but you also become, well, you basically trade the earthly for the spiritual, right? In a way, it's inevitable to do that. Like if when you do that, it's inevitable to avoid sin, and in the end, it's the sin that kills you. right? So power kills also because of the sin that becomes involved. Because once you really gain that momentum for the power, Lucifer immediately starts swarming you, seducing you to get that power under control that is inside of you, to make it harmless, right? And it's like eventually it becomes unavoidable if you want to continue growth. And so then you make deals, and unwittingly or wittingly through other people, you make deals with the devil. You start to hide certain truths or whatever in your whatever you do, because then you can continue, and you can continue growth, you gain more power, right? But the sin slips in unavoidably, and that eventually starts eating on you, starts malforming your complete understanding, and then it kills you. Yeah? It's built into the spiritual mechanism of how everything works out there. It's the failsafe that they put in, right? That's why they don't leave you alone until you corrupt. Because if you don't corrupt, then you could potentially go on forever. And then you become an unpredictable factor and screw everything up. All their prediction control. So, if you corrupt you, then thereby become finite and more manageable. I don't know how many of you actually followed what I was just saying. Who knows? But that is it. What I just described, that is the rudimentary mechanism that's extremely unpleasant, extremely unfair, devilish at best. But that's what I've seen around me my entire life happening with people. This is how it goes. That's how they grow up. They gain the power. They get swarmed by Lucifer. One of the Lucifer seductions comes through. They corrupt. They grow further in power. The sin starts wearing on them. They lose their life lust because of it. And then they start to develop health problems. And then they die. That is the cycle. It's how it happens. Seen it so many times, especially with people that are strong, because hey, when you're strong when you're young, the worse Lucifer gets on you, especially if you dare to resist, which is what I experienced. I resisted that full force. I basically ejected all of society. I even went as far on that principle as to basically commit sin in plain sight. Not because I wanted to challenge God, but just to shock people into get the fuck away from me. Like that. I would do say horrific things or seem really dark just to get people to get the fuck away from me. Right? It was that bad. How much Lucifer always people were trying. It's terrible. It was never-ending manipulation from other people. Never ending. And yeah, I don't know. But when you're strong, you get swarmed by Lucifer through other people until you give in, until you entangle, until you make a deal with the devil through them, and then you become finite. The clock starts ticking. And if you don't, well, then it's kind of hellish from there on. But there's no clock that starts ticking. right? Except for just the issues that you've had throughout your life that you work through, and then you might get a little sick here and there because, yeah, it's a German new medicine. Like, you resolved the conflicts from your past, and then you have a response in your body. All right. So that still happens, but I mean, it's like, I'm kind of certain that with what I do, that if I'm going to get sick, that it's never going to kill me. Because of the balance of experiences I've had throughout my life. And like how intense the resolving of the conflict gets in relation to how intense an experience was, and then sizing up all the intensities of the experiences roughly like a statistic throughout my life, and then seeing what's been unrolling and seeing how much I've already been unleashed, so how many conflicts have already been gone, and then realizing, yeah, I'm not gonna get sick anymore to a point where it's so extremely dangerous, so intense that it could kill me. It's part of what I worked on my entire life, right? In a way, you could almost say, like, in a way, through esoterics and spirit mechanics, I've actually attempted to, like, extend my life very thoroughly, which is in a way ironic because I do still like smoke and all that, but I mean, that's part of the reason why everything, because it's like, if you engage, it will all just start chewing on you until there's nothing left, and then it spits you out. And I figured out ways to bypass doing that, and it seems to be okay. Right? While when I was younger, it was constantly staring me in the face like, you have to learn to get a job, you must always have a freaking job, and like that, and you must make your own, like, really, like, paranoid over that, and it just never freaking worked. Like, never. Like, when it really doesn't work, like, do you have to keep trying, or does that make you an idiot? Like, because every time I engaged, I wouldn't be able to grow, I wouldn't be able to apply my real intelligence there ever. It's like, none of the jobs really seem to be like that. Except for when I worked for myself. As a goldsmith, I had a lot more interesting things that happened. Because I was in full control, nobody bothering me. And with this as well. But when I was younger, I couldn't even imagine that I could be like a product, that my talking could be a product. Because I just thought that every freaking person in the world just thought it was mostly annoying when I talked. And when somebody would lighten up from something that I said, I was really surprised. What, you like what I said? Like, so I couldn't imagine that I end up having a daily talk show with people that support me for that. I couldn't imagine that. Like 20 years ago, not even close. That notion terrified me. Because I thought that I was really a terrible person, also. I had a very bleak self-image. Very degrading. It's like, oh, you have all this talent, but your use, it's wasted on you. Basically, that was like something nasty that my internal would tell me. It's like, you have all this talent, but it's wasted on you. Yeah. That's a real pessimist attitude, and that's how I felt. So yeah, now worked on it for a long time. It was like, yeah, okay, I can just let that idea, just let it kill me, and then nothing, and then it was all for nothing anyway. Or I could just stop doing that and learn to basically, on a higher level, mind control myself out of it. To mind control myself out of a bad self-image. To just say, yeah, no, you're just experiencing hell. It's trying to convince you that's you that is to blame for feeling like that. But it is the feeling itself that is really the thing you're looking at and not the reality. Right? So that's where that came from. Why I have, in a way, all this analytical capability even about feelings and doing things when some rage arrives or whatever with it, and not just become really anxious because of it. It's because I had to force myself to overcome it, to basically split up how I feel and what I need to do. And that was very difficult, because most of my life I've been really just carried around by feelings. I mean, I didn't want them. I didn't feel like, oh, they literally rule me or my feeling is law. Nothing like that. But it would always be like, as soon as some feeling of mine became involved, I would lose control over the situation, and wherever my feelings would drive it, that's where it would always go. And I would accept that. Well, that has changed a lot. I basically like caging an animal or fencing an animal, a herd of animals. I just don't allow my feelings to determine the outcome as much of what happens. Even though it is in my nature kind of to do that, even as we're interacting, right? So I'm going against some troll in the chat sometimes, or having a fragile moment. Feelings still carry me. But when it's good things, then it's like, okay, the door is open. As soon as there's bad feelings involved, management comes from behind and basically starts like, okay, don't let that go out of control. Think of the objective, like you may be in the moment with the feeling, but still have a little corner of your mind left for a clear-headed objective, so that you don't lose your earthing. You don't lose sight of reality because of your emotion. Anyway. Don't know if any of you could follow what I was just talking about, but I can, and I'm probably going to listen back to this just to see what it was that I was saying, and if it worked as well as I hope. Like, if the explanation actually worked. In the meantime, you're talking about gradients again, right? Anyway, hello Rachie. Kumo virus. By the way, what's a hilarious comment? Still not getting over that. Troll comments like, oh, what you're doing is really normal. Oh, why are you doing it? Yeah. So, somebody's complaining about an inference about how I feel really special about what I'm doing when they say it's really normal out there, which is not true at all. It really isn't. And then complaining about, why are you just talking about these things like they're really special when they're just normal? Why the hell would anybody ever complain about such a thing? Logically. I mean, the amount of like inward spiraling it's so weird that somebody would just do that. I mean, that's not even proper communication anymore. It's literally like somebody like barking at a wall level talking those comments. It's like, really, it is like somebody just barking at a wall. Like they have frustration, but they don't even know where it comes from, and they just direct it. And they're just yelling at a wall. And it's what it feels like sometimes with some of these comments I get. It's like, what is the point of what you're saying? Like, I just don't get it. You're nothing special. Like, oh, okay. Well, then I'm nothing special. So what? Like, am I claiming I'm like some savior or something? I don't get it. The whole point about everything that I'm saying is like, look, some like the technique, like all these things everybody can do. It's just most people just are too distracted to. They can't get themselves to do it. They forget about it. It's like Lucifer on the inside just fends it off. You've already given in too much. You become too much dependent on the delusion to get real to that level. Anyway. I get what you're saying, Arwen. Don't have anything to add. Okay. What were we saying earlier? Concretism? Concretism applying to what? Listening, Rufus St. Hubbins? Yeah. No, that's fine. What's special to one may be not to somebody else. Right, but I mean, oh, you got that skill too. Oh, wow. Well, that means it's nothing special? Or it just means like, don't share my special secret special boy skill that I can very much abuse. So don't tell people about it. I feel that sometimes. Like, there's people out there that are like, shut up, Arwen. You're spoiling our power. You're like revealing how we work. Stop doing that. Like, yeah, no, I'm not going to stop doing that. I'm going to reveal how I work. And if that means that I'm going to be unwittingly revealing your secret special boy powers that you're abusing, then yeah, tough luck for you. Huh? You will be exposed. This is the apocalypse. The great revealing. Everything will be revealed. It's not over yet. Two people having the same skill can be special. Yeah, but I mean, there is competitive nature there, right? I get it. I mean, if there would be somebody out there that kind of like me would be really onto the ethereal, esoteric, internal mechanics talking, I would probably see that as competition. If they were at the same level as me within that, right? But if it was somebody like my healer talking about it, well, he's way beyond me. So I'm like, no, let me know more. I want to know more. Right? But if it's somebody like on the same level with me, kind of doing the same thing, well, yeah, then there might be sensations of competition there. Logical, right? It's like guys that are used to be the smart guy in the group very rarely like other guys that are used to being the smart guy in the group, right? Now, there are smart guys that don't typically like that, and they like to just hang around other people that are as smart, which is more difficult. They won't have that issue, right? But I mean, I don't typically like to be the smart guy among a group. I like to have people that are equally smart around me. Right? Because people that typically like to be the smart guy in the group, they like it because, well, they can bullshit a little more without everybody catching on to it. That's it. Because they can say things smarter and then everybody will just trust them on it because they don't get it. Yeah? I don't like that. I don't need that because I don't like to be sloppy. And if there's people around me that aren't smart, then they're not going to point anything out to me. Right? I want people that are smart to point details out. I want to be criticized. I want to be studied like that. Because that's what I know helps improve a lot. Actually. Anyway. No, I've never seen anything like that MTRC because I don't watch sports on television. Tried to point out that, yeah, but it doesn't, Glenn Salch. You need to stop pushing that nonsense. I've had very elaborate shows about it. Gas doesn't have weight. Yeah, weight is a convention. Doesn't apply to gas. Yeah, it's not the weight you're looking for. Right? Already explained to you. Whatever gas you're gonna weigh in some kind of container that might be denser gas. Yeah, there might be some pressure offset, but it's not going to be proportional to what the claimed weight of the gas is. Because weighing doesn't work that way. Weighing is convention based. It's based on standardized disequilibrium pressure within air surrounding at ground level. That is what weight really is. It's a derived convention. You see? That's literally what weight is. Literally. Not how you can mathematically arrange it and how it's been mathematically used. That's not relevant. It's like what it actually is exactly what I just described. Right? And in that sense, yeah, gas does not have weight. Actual physical weight, as in the convention. It doesn't have that. It's not going to register. It's not going to be in proportion to the supposed atomic weight. Because atomic weight is something different from regular weight. Now, I can, of course, keep explaining things over and over again, but I am going to get sick of you if you keep reasserting the same bullshit over and over again when I give such incredibly elaborate, detailed responses as to why that's incorrect, Glenn Salch. Yes? Do you understand that? You can't just assert shit like that. It's shit. That's exactly what it is. It's bullshit. You don't know what you're talking about, Glenn Saltz. Yeah? All these theoretical math bullshit equations are very cute. But you're misapplying weight. Yeah, when you're talking about 5 pounds liquid, 5 pounds gas, that's super cute, but that's atomic weight based theorizing, not convention actual world weighing on a scale based weight. Stop mixing them up. I'm getting sick of it. Now, it's not me that attributes weight to gravity. Has nothing to do with that. Stop strawmanning me. Yeah? I mean, I'm not talking about gravity. I'm talking about the convention of weighing things. You understand? When weighing things, gas is not gonna yield a proportional weight to the material when it's in its gaseous state because of the nature of the weighing convention. No, don't fucking tell me I don't understand, Glenn Saltz. I'll kick you the fuck out. Yeah, I invited you here to clear things up, and you're just regurgitating the same shit. Like you forgot everything that was discussed. That we have discussed. We have discussed this for like a month. And you're still saying the same shit. Glenn Saltz, I'm getting kind of sick of it. I didn't forget, I disagree. Yeah, you're just fucking wrong. You're baselessly wrong then. You keep asserting the same shit. You don't listen to what I say. You don't give fucking feedback to what I say. You don't address what I say in order to disprove me. You just assert, I disagree. It's this. You don't address anything. You're just regurgitating your stupid, baseless claim that is grounded in a fundamental misunderstanding of what weight really is. And I keep telling you, and you keep ignoring that. Yeah? Disagreeing is bullshit. You don't address it. You haven't addressed it. You're just not ignoring it, yeah? That's not disagreeing. That's called ignorance. Ignoring it. Not being able to disprove it or address it or criticize it, but ignoring it like it doesn't exist. No, I don't. And that's your cue to get the fuck out. Go back to Baltardia then, asswipe. Why does helium? So it has to do with just the oscillation of your vocal cords. Right? And with a different density gas, that oscillation will speed up, right? With the lower density gas and slow down with higher density gas. So that's why it changes your voice, Akuma virus. Why call them heavy gases? Because people are retarded, and if there's some misconception that could leak in somewhere, they're gonna sure as hell ram it in until everybody's forgotten what it really means. That's what people do. Because people like everybody else to not understand what the fuck is going on and just make everything colloquial till nobody thinks about anything they're saying anymore. That's why. Yeah, nobody enters in my chat with a remark like that. Dickhead. You do that, you get kicked out immediately. Yeah? You're listening? You better just say hello. Cause, oh, you're listening. Oh, and now we had to quickly say some stupid fucking gamma comment? I immediately kick you out. You hear me, asshole? That's the way you communicate, then get the fuck out of my show. I want to have nothing to do with you. Yeah? Be part of the chat or don't be part of the chat. But when you fucking enter with gamma bullshit like that, you immediately get kicked the fuck out. Hello, Mojo Gustavo. Buoyancy works with weight. It works with living. What makes gas? Are you no, Akumu virus? Why the fuck are you asking that question? It's so stupid. No intermolecular bonds. I mean, this is literally the first thing you learn in physics. How do you not know that? Why are gases different from liquids? Yeah, well, you should have paid attention in class when they taught you that in the first year. Dumbass. Ugh, 10 pounds of helium? Right. In liquid state, perhaps. Yeah? Because, oh, people can't get over that. Then Glenn Salch is sulking and crying about it, even. Not literally, but I mean, seriously, yeah, it's true. You have gas. It's in an expanded state, not super compressed, right? Yeah, it doesn't have weight. Then you compress it. And then it turns into liquid because of the compression. And then the liquid has weight. Yes, it has from a non-weight scenario to a weight scenario. The material that did not have weight suddenly attains weight because of the phase change. Yes, that's what happens. Get the fuck over it. It's what happens. Literally. It makes no sense. Yeah, that's because you think it shouldn't make any sense. Yeah? Because you don't understand that weight is just that convention. It's a measuring fucking convention. It's not a inherent truth to material. It's a measuring convention. Gases deal with buoyancy too. Yeah, but I mean buoyancy, density, it's relative density, it's specific gravity, except they just stick the g to it. So you just take the g out of it, and suddenly you got relative density, because you don't need no frickin' g. It just happens. Provably, palpably, scientifically provably, arguably a natural law, relative density. An object or a mesh, a body of something is at density disequilibrium with its surrounding, it will displace or attempt to displace. There will be disequilibrium force that it is subjected to until it finds its equilibrium with its surrounding, or becomes like physically obstructed, and then it will, instead of motion, lead to pressure. And that's just what it is. And now you can stick a little g on that and then call it density buoyancy. That's all super cute, but that really has nothing to do with it. Like, what's really going on? How long will sulfur hexafluoride exert weight? Well, look, that's pressure, right? That's the gas, sulfur hexafluoride, will have disequilibrium pressure with its surrounding because it's surrounded by less dense gas. So it will exert that pressure. The pressure is not proportionate to the atomic weight of the material. So yeah, there will be some colloquial weight, as in some pressure that direction, yeah, which general people would say that's weight, right? Weight is how much something registers on the scale, yeah. In that sense, yeah, gas has some weight, but the weight is not proportional to the convention. So it basically breaks the convention. It shows that weighing convention doesn't apply to gases, because what becomes registered becomes off. Yeah, there is some pressure, sure, but it's off. It's not that linear consistency that we all love and trust in the weight convention. And that is my point. It doesn't have weight, the convention weight. There might be some disequilibrium pressure, but it's not in that linear consistency that we love and rely on so much. That is weight. And that is my entire freaking point. That's been my entire freaking point for a year now. Okay? That is the point. That is it. It's not weight. Yeah, there's some pressure. It's not weight. It's not at that linear consistency. That is so key for the weight convention. It's that linear consistency. That's why we use weighing, because it's so reliable. Well, guess what? As soon as you start to do that with gas, not reliable anymore. Not in line with the linear consistency of the weight convention. I mean, how much clearer can I communicate this? Ugh. Yeah. So while you're all still trying to arrange all the different meanings of weight in your head and realizing what a clusterfuck it all is, Yeah, you got the weight convention, and then you got your colloquial weight, and then you got your atomic weight, and it all means different freaking things and are not compatible. But we don't even point it out. Yeah? Generally. People don't even know there's a difference. It's just all weight, and it's all the same thing. Oh, yeah. We don't understand shit. Because you don't understand the difference between the meanings and where it comes from. That's completely different things. Yeah? Weight, the colloquial, yeah, it's just some pressure. It's just something's pressing. Yeah, and even gas in like a balloon or whatever, if it's denser, yeah, it will press a little, yeah, a little weight. Yeah, but that's not proportional. So it's not the weight. It's like you're not gonna transport gas in balloons, weigh it, and then sell it, yeah? You know why? Because it's not going to be proportional. Yeah, it's gonna give some weight, perhaps, if it's really dense gas, but not in proportion to how much gas is actually in there. They're gonna compress it, yeah, because that's why gases are sold in tankers, compressed, usually to liquid state, because then it's not gas anymore, and you can weigh it, and it will actually be in proportion to the atomic weight all of a sudden. Yeah? Yeah, I know it sounds all really confusing, but that's what it is, right? That's why you don't have... Yeah, you don't sell gas in uncompacted states. So they don't sell you a balloon and then charge per volume of expanded gas. Yeah, that's not how it works. They compress it in a tank, it becomes liquid, and then you can actually measure the weight, and it will be consistent. It will be an actual weight, reliable weight. Yeah? If it's in its gaseous state, you can't do that. You can't put it on a scale and then have that same convention apply. It will register something, sure, or nothing if it's less dense than the gas that surrounds it. It will be anti-weight. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Oh, just don't think about it when that happens. Oh, anti-weight. Oh yes, buoyancy or something or blah. Yeah, but it doesn't fit the weight convention anymore. That's why people don't weigh balloons with gas. In order to weigh the gas, yeah, to get the measurement of the gas. Like, they don't do that. This is all just tiresome. Gas cylinders. Yeah. I guess what's in those cylinders, eh? Fourth Lanark? Yeah? Liquid! Yes, because it's compressed, just like I was saying. So interesting how people still come in my chat thinking that they can, like, tell me wrong, when I've literally already addressed it, like 5 minutes ago. Why do people do that? Why do people think that they can correct you on something that you've already put down? So stupid. Why do you do that? Why do people think they can correct you when you've already addressed what they're trying to correct? It's so stupid. Why do you allow yourself to do that? Gas, vapor, and liquid, that's hilarious, but vapor is gas. LVA, Paul. But I mean, yeah, when they say gas cylinders, that's cylinders meant for gas compression, because in the industry, when you buy gas, you don't buy expanded gas, you buy compressed gas in a tanker, and then you can weigh the tanker and the compressed liquid gas in the tanker, and then it's like a linear reliable value. It will actually tell, the weight will actually tell you how much is in there properly to scale with the convention, because it's not in its expanded state. It's not gas, it's compressed gas, it's liquid now. So suddenly that weight becomes linear again. It starts to adapt to the convention again. Huh? Cylinders I buy, never liquid except for most of them. Yeah, George Sanford. I mean, oxygen is an exemption. Oxygen is weird. It turns to solid, right? But I mean, yeah, that's also a solid. So definitely weight. What are you talking about, Amy S? Why lie about all this? No, you're just wrong. I've laid it all out. Yes, there's 3 types of weight, and everybody thinks it's just the same thing when it is very blatantly not the same thing. Colloquial weight, the convention weight, and atomic weight. They're all different. People just think it's all colloquial weight. That's what people think. That it's all just colloquial weight. And they're wrong. Yeah, see? This is exactly... Why do people come in and make the mistakes literally right before I announce them? Why do they do that? Why do they do that? See, this is exactly what it meant. Amy S here. Gas obviously has weight. All matter does. Yeah, guess what? That's exactly the summarization of the issue of the colloquialization of all conceptions of weight. It's exactly what you're doing right now. It's so stupid. I literally just described how people do that, and it's wrong. And you literally just typed it out 30 seconds later. Like, what's wrong with you people? Wow. Alright. I guess it's a thick skull Sunday. Well, I don't mind. I'm enjoying the weather. Stick 50p. Yeah, or 50 euro in my PayPal. That would also be great, Moxie. So any fun topics? Yeah, gas doesn't have mass. The weight scale system doesn't apply to gas in its expanded state. Yeah, that's the topic. I keep doing my shows about it. Like, do I have to do a show about gas not having mass and the weight scale system not applying to it? Do I have to make a show titled that every freaking week? Because people just keep coming back. Keep doing the same bullshit over and over. They don't get it. Like, every time I keep explaining it. I can't imagine to be able to even explain it more extensively than I already have. Like, what more can I say? People just don't get it. They keep saying the same dumb shit over and over again. I analyze the dumb shit. I lay down the psychology behind it. I lay down how it's a mistake. And they kept just doing it over and over again. Like, you're literally not listening. Like, there's a 95% blot out of everything that I say that you just don't hear every time. Because you just keep saying the same dumb shit that I've analyzed and broken down over and over again. Like a complete moron. Yeah, it's really dumb. You're really fucking dumb, Amy S. Bye. What? Who are you talking to, Moxie? You understand things you don't agree with. Yeah, sure you do. But I'm not really having the conversation with you here. I'm having the conversation with other people. Tried to have a conversation with Glenn Salch, but he would just not stop. So I guess maybe he'll just have to listen another year to me weekly bringing this up again until it finally frickin' sinks in. Right? This is not a agree-disagree situation. This is foundational. This is where it's coming from. What are the words that you're using? What do they really stand for? How do they work? What do they imply? What specific fields do they apply to? Are they compatible? No, they're not compatible. That's my entire point. And everybody just ignores it. They just ignore it. No! It's all one! It's all one! Everything is all one! Science says it's all one! There's only one spectrum from the foundation to the ultimate. It's all one! So if weight is in different things, it's just all the same thing. It's all one. I mean, this stupid over-unification bullshit mentality is really wearing on me. I'm getting really sick of it. Stop the stupid chanting shit. Stop regurgitating the same nonsense arguments and actually frickin' listen to what I have to say. Feed it back to me and then figure out what I'm saying. Like, yeah, it is different. It doesn't work the same way. That's real. It really doesn't work the same way. It's different. How many times do I have to point it out? That's right, Adam Meakin. Well said. At least somebody gets it here. Oof. much does a storm cloud weigh after it condenses? I don't know. Probably quite a bit. But I mean, the droplets are technically like suspended. So the sheer amount of liquid water is quite a lot, but because of the way it's spread out, it like dust flows, I guess. It's weird. Clouds are freaking weird. Yeah. Why you keep bringing that up, George? We know. Oxygen turns to crystal. We know. Yeah? Not a gas anymore. You can suddenly now register it as weight by the convention. Adapted to its linear scale. Because it's not gas anymore, it's solid. Was that CO2? Was it CO2 that turned solid? Or was it oxygen? Was it oxygen that turns into that weird superfluid shit? It's like, yeah. Oxygen is weird, I guess, because when you compress it, this is what we discussed earlier, it kind of stays gas, but it does become really compressed. But it just doesn't liquefy. Very weird, by the way. Right? But I mean, that's not gas, that's not oxygen in its expanded state, though. It's still highly compressed, which you can only do artificially. Super cool oxygen to turn it like, right, yeah, I've seen that. Liquid oxygen. Right. Because it just doesn't normally do that even if you compress it. Very weird though. But I mean, oxygen is kind of weird because technically it's like a metal. Did you even know that? It's so weird. Like oxygen also is like it guides electricity. Like it is just like metal. It's conductive, that's the word I'm looking for. Oxygen is weird. But I mean, yeah. So with oxygen, yeah, you might compress it like that. It's still not going to be in its expanded state, right? And that's my whole point. Is that you can't weigh gas in its expanded state. And I guess oxygen would be kind of a unique exemption because it only liquefies when you cool it. Doesn't just cool off by itself, apparently. But yeah, I mean, unless you highly compress it to like a sort of a maximum state, I mean, eventually, like you're gonna not be able to compress the tanker anymore, even though it doesn't turn into liquid, right? So in that sense, yeah, you'll have more of it compressed together. It will definitely be at this equilibrium and probably be enough to actually get very close or right on top of it on the linear ratio of the weight convention in its highly compressed state, right? But my whole point is that gas in its expanded state does not have weight ever. It has nothing. Even though there might be a huge volume of it, it won't register because it's expanded and mostly in equilibrium with the surrounding, because that's also going to be gas, right? It's not going to have any disequilibrium pressure or very little, not in proportion to the weight scale convention. That only works when you highly compress it, and most gases, well, they turn liquid. So it doesn't really apply then anymore anyway. That's right. Yeah, thanks for the chat assistance, by the way, Adam Meekin. There's a lot of really stubborn people. Like almost everybody. Everybody else seems to just shut up. Let it all happen. They might not really get it, or they'll be like, oh yeah, okay, I'll leave the stubborn people to you, Arwin. I don't know. Hey Zep Teppy. You can't just say hello first. Anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying the show. It's been interesting. Right. So there's the title. Colloquial weight, conventional weight, and atomic weight. All different. I think I will just call that weight conventional weight. I mean, that word applies. And it is a convention. That's the whole thing about that mechanical weight scale thing. It is the convention weight. So conventional weight versus colloquial weight and atomic weight. What do you think, Adam? Is this a proper classification strategy, in your opinion? Right. Okay, Richard G, no problem. Glad you're still listening. It is tough material. It took some time to get into my head, okay? Like, the funny thing is that I basically picked back up on this concept because I was dealing with this also in school, and I had a lot of trouble figuring out. I think I told this story before on my show, where it's like somebody just told me, like, yeah, no, weight from a scale and atomic weight you find in the book, it's not the same thing. It was like, what? Why? Why is it not the same? Why would you call it weight then? I immediately got a headache when I figured that out. And I always had just like trouble with it. It basically probably screwed up that it, like, if that didn't exist, I probably would have just even studied chemistry. But it just gave me a headache because, well, among other, that issue. It's like, I don't get it. But yeah, I mean, thanks to hanging around with the guys and with Adam and QE, who have like a lot more academic insight on this kind of thing. Like, it's been really helpful to really get that cleared up, what I bumped into like all those decades ago, that it is different. And now I understand how it is different, mostly. I mean, I'm like 95, 98% there, which is I'm very satisfied about, because way back that would have been like 20%. I really did. I knew there was a difference, but it just didn't really get how. Now I get it much more. Because I understand what the conventional weight really is so much more. Because I made it a little bit of my study during my gravity debate. Or still was trying to defend a conception of gravity like on the flat earth. That would be like a universal downward direction type thing, etc. Right? Because of that process, going through that, trying to defend that, I got to understand what weight is so much better. And that's also when I switched to relative density, when I really started getting it and started to basically put a good formulation of it on the map. Very proud of being one of those front runners. I mean, others were saying, yeah, relative density, this and that. I'm like, I'm going to explain exactly how it works. Relative density disequilibrium is a word that first came rolling out of me. Very proud of that, even though it probably shouldn't be really, but I worked it out. Very detailed. The description of relative density, right? Object versus the medium it's in. If it's denser, then there will be a density disequilibrium that will cause a force to manifest. It will cause it to accelerate towards the direction of its density. So it's denser than the surrounding, it will be going down. Less dense, it will be going up. Until it meets a medium surrounding that is equal in density, or it becomes halted in moving by a physical thing. Or yeah, solid thing mostly, because that's rigid. And then instead of moving, it will just press against it, because it's still not going to be at equilibrium with its surrounding just because something is obstructing it. The medium it is in is still less dense, or yeah. So I was able to work that out and understand what weight really is. That it is a convention that weight is actually air weight. The weight convention is air weight. You take something in a medium of air at ground level and then register the disequilibrium force of the object with that specific medium setting, and then you have a linear scale, right? Because the regular air pressure ground level is the anchor point. That is the anchor for the convention. Based on that, the scale is made, and you can literally, you have that linear scale, and you can have numerical values within the convention because it's anchored in that very specific setting of ground level air pressure medium. But they don't tell you that part when you use a scale. It's just for granted. It was just like, yeah, sure. You just put it on the thing, it gives a number. But they don't tell you, like, yeah, you're actually measuring relative density disequilibrium force in a medium of air. That's what you're registering in a numerical value. Right. kilogram isn't a weight. That's literally a numerical. It's 1,000 grams. It's a numerical value in weight. What are you talking about? It's part of the convention. Kilogram is mass. No, kilogram is a numerical value that rolls out of a scale when you weigh something using the conventional weight. Kilogram is not mass. Yeah? That's within Newtonian mechanics. They basically say that kilogram is the mass plus gravity. That's the claim within the convention of Newton. Yeah? Kilogram isn't that. It's just how it's formulated within Newtonian mechanics. Yeah, Newtonian mechanics claims that weight is mass times gravity, roughly. But that's because of the Newtonian mechanics conception of it, right? Has nothing to do with what weight really is, effectively, how it's used. And yeah, you can still apply Newtonian mechanics to the weight convention, sort of, right? Until you start weighing gas, right? And then, oh yeah, it doesn't work at all. Then it just becomes exposed like, yeah, wait, no, if you weigh gas in an expanded state, it's not going to register its actual atomic weight level. So you're going to have to approach something somewhere else. Like, what's actually happening? Yeah, well, it's not gravity pulling it down. So let's go by the density buoyancy, the relative density system then, and then see, oh yeah, it's a slight disequilibrium with its surroundings, so it's gonna press somewhat, but I mean not actually enough to register the mesh of it, like the weight of it in proportion to the convention. Like, that's not gonna work out. Right? That's why nobody puts balloons on scales, because that's silly. Like, nobody does that ever. Nobody puts a freaking balloon on a scale to weigh things. Nobody does that, because that's just stupid. Because it doesn't work. Because it's expanded gas that you're weighing now, and it's not proportional. That's not what a scale is meant for. It's meant for liquids and solids. Or highly compressed gas in a container, right? Oh my god, the Kumo virus, could you please stop regurgitating the same garbage wiki nonsense? Don't know how you get atomic weight. Yeah, it's part of chemistry, right, G? That's where that comes from. Orthodox claim weighing balloon. Yeah, of course he did, and he's an idiot. Yeah, right. Look, if you're gonna draw in the word mass, there's just as much an issue with that, okay? Because colloquial mass and the conventional mass, which is exclusively Newtonian, yeah, are very different things, right? It's just like atomic mass. It's the same problem. Colloquial mass, which is exclusively Newtonian, it's very different from atomic mass. Right? And in that Newtonian sense, yeah, gas doesn't have mass. It's not part of the formulas. Doesn't address it. Newtonian mechanics doesn't address gas behavior. So in that sense, literally, gas doesn't have mass. We're gonna say like, yeah, but mass is weight or something, and you're gonna get all colloquial, then yeah, oh yeah, well, then it does have some mass, right? It does have some weight, some mass, but it's not proportional though. Yeah, it's just you're registering some disequilibrium pressure. It's not proportional to the material, because that you can't do that. When you weigh something on a scale, it's based on measuring its disequilibrium force within the medium of air. Well, if you're going to have something that's so light, it's as light as air, it's not going to register. Even though it will have content, it will have mass, colloquially or whatever, but it's not gonna register. Like, yeah, because it's expanded gas and it doesn't have mass. Ugh. I might be mixing it up. I'm starting to get a headache from this shit. Yeah. Yeah, compressed air is actually liquid. What are you talking about? Not liquid. The fuck are you talking about? Yes, it's liquid. Regular breathing air they compress is not liquid at all. Oh yeah, well then you're not gonna last very long. Yeah, it definitely is liquid in the tank. Yeah, you think you could just have regular air compressed to a state that it's not liquid in a tank and then breathe from that longer than like 2 minutes? It's ridiculous. Where are you getting that from? Reverse oxygen liquid. Yeah, that's cute, cool, but I mean, it's not. They don't put pure oxygen in scuba tanks. You're at Sanford, yeah? It's the regular mixture of air that is compressed. So it's going to be inhomogeneous. It's mostly going to be liquid, right? Otherwise, you're not going to be having a lot of gas in that tank if you're not going to compress it to the point of liquefaction or condensation, I mean. Right, so what are you talking about? Your expertise? Like what? You actually look inside of the tankers when they're pressurized? What are you talking about? Die for that. It's really cute you have that lifelong experience, but I wonder if you're... I don't get it. Makes no sense. Right. I don't know how long these scuba tanks are gonna last, but I mean, if it's not even compressed enough to liquefy the regular gas, then I don't know how long you would last with those tanks. Seems to make very little sense. Okay. Alright, diver then. Cool. Sure. There's not enough pressure, so yeah, but it's not a lot of gas then. Yeah, and hey, again, I never said that there's literally no registry of anything. Yeah, there's still gas in there. It still has a density in relation to its surrounding. If it's more compressed than the regular air, yeah, it's going to be slightly denser than the regular air. So there's going to be some colloquial weight registry, right? You're going to feel heavier. It's not going to be, though, like in linear relation to, well, its atomic weight and such. Which is my point that I keep trying to make over and over again. Yeah? If you compress air or gas to a degree that it becomes denser than its surrounding, well, then it will register some disequilibrium force, right? But it's not going to be in proportion to, well, the normal weight scale ratio, the convention of the weight. Cubic feet, yeah, I know. They just say is this many liters. Yeah. Okay. All right. What? Compression? I don't know. Tiger bear. All right. So let me just lead you for a bit there, Diver Dan, because I think that you're just not understanding my point. But let's just say, look, this is cool, right? There's your 120 cubic feet of air that's compressed in that tank. So I bet it has you can put it on the scale and it will be more than when it's basically all vacated. It's all an open tank. It will weigh more, right, when it's in there. So now take that 120 cubic feet of air in its expanded state. Like, let's make a really big balloon. It's 120 cubic feet big, and fill that balloon with that air in the scuba tank. And now put it on a scale. How much of that weight do you think it's going to register? Besides the weight of the balloon. Yeah? How much do you think it will weigh? The gas, right? So you take the weight of the balloon and expand it. You put it on the scale. You know how much it is. And now you put that 120 cubic feet of air in that balloon. And then you compare the scale right? When it was in its compressed state in the tanker, and now you put it in its expanded state in the balloon, and you put it on the same scale, and let's see what happens. Yeah? Is it gonna register the same weight? I don't think so. You know why? Because it's not at this equilibrium with its surrounding when it's regularly expanded. And that is the point. It doesn't have weight, doesn't have mass in the Newtonian sense. You have to compress it, and then, yeah, the average volume of it, compressed and all, will become denser than the surrounding air. Then there will be some disequilibrium, which becomes even more linear and reliable when it compresses to the degree that it becomes liquid. Then it really does start to function more like conventional weight system. The molecules will still have mass. Yeah, and that's the atomic mass, Diver Dan. Yeah, that's not the same thing. See? This is what my show was about. It's been going, it's almost finished, by the way, but this is exactly it. You're saying it, you're rolling it out right there. It still has mass. Yeah, see, so you mixed it all up. You mixed it all up. You think it's all the same thing. Yeah? Colloquial weight, conventional weight, and atomic weight are completely different. But yet, people are so easy to just say, oh, no, it's all one thing. No, it isn't. Yeah. And you prove it right here that you do that by saying the molecules will still have mass. And no, they don't, though. Not in the weight convention. They don't. They will not register this equilibrium in its expanded state, because it doesn't have mass within the convention of weight. It has atomic mass, which is something different. It's like a weight ratio, like one piece of material towards one another, one molecule virtually towards another. What are their comparison, right? It's a different system. Atomic mass is a very different system from the convention of weight, which is very specific. So see how this happens? Okay, no need there, Cleary. Right. Gonna run out the show soon, I think. First I'm gonna take a 2-minute break. Be right back. Ah. Hey, Guns to Neverone. Yeah, good show. Thanks. I think I'm probably gonna unban Glenn Sauce. You probably just got carried away. It's very typical. Annoying, but typical. I just basically wanted him to just shut up. It's just like at some point I might kick you because you just keep yapping when you should be paying attention. But I mean, I do like Glenn Solch. But yeah, I don't like it when people just start rambling like that. Where is he? Just chilling, watching the show. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, no, I think it's a great show. Very physics, very tough and challenging. A lot of people like falling right into it as I'm talking. I was like, oh, look, yeah, here's what happens. People do this and that and that and that. Let me try to lay it down even more clearly. And guess then what happens? Somebody comes in and does exactly what I just described. It's like, it happens every time. Keeps happening. Say something like, this is how they do it, this is a mistake, and then guess what happens? Somebody just pops up in chat to do exactly that. It's like, what the hell, man? Didn't you just hear me say that? Right, anyway. Hope you all enjoyed the show. I've been having some good time here. I mean, yeah, I get a bit fired up. I get a bit annoyed maybe, but I mean, it's still great. I hope you feel that. Teleportation? No, that's not really a topic. It's just science fiction. Can Glenn Soch come back? I don't know. He probably left. I don't know, but I unblocked him. I just don't want him to start rambling like that again. I probably should have said that I would unban him. Like, but I mean, it just wanted him to shut up. Oh, you're there. Okay. I'm just in disbelief. Well, good. You keep your disbelief to yourself. Okay? I've already got enough people rambling about this continually. Don't need another one, yeah? I thought that I could actually inform you about it. I really thought I was getting somewhere, but then you just fall right back into the old habit and start rambling about it, just like other people are. And that's not what I wanted you over for. I don't want you over so you can continually ignore everything that I say and just keep rambling about your version of understanding. No, you cannot explain. And you need to stop rambling. Yeah. Well, you know what? Make a video about it. Let's go through all the bullshit loops and I'll analyze your video and basically do the same thing that I've been doing this entire show. Okay? So if you don't want to respond to logical facts and logical consistency, differentiation between certain conceptions, if you refuse to see and understand that, and just reassert the same bullshit over and over again, then there's nothing I can do for you. If you don't get it, and you refuse to get it, it's your fucking problem, not mine. Oh yeah, thanks. Yes, of course. No, it isn't. Yeah. Yeah, it's very cute, but you're not gonna register weight off a scale with gas in, like, material in gaseous state, in its expanded state. You don't weigh it. And that's just a fact. You can keep saying and asserting, and they're like, oh, but they did this and they did that. But yeah, but they didn't put gas in its expanded state on a scale. And that's a fact. I don't care if you find your stupid little bridges that surround it, like, oh, let's work our way around it so we can still fucking claim its weight, it's universal, it's all one thing, it's all one. Ugh! It isn't. It's not all one. There's a distinct difference between the convention of weight and atomic weight and a colloquial understanding of weight. And that's a fact. Immortal, immutable fact. But don't realize you're saying the same thing. Shut your fucking mouth. Yeah? Nobody fucking speaks up in my chat like that. Shut your fucking mouth. If I want to get fucking angry, then I'll fucking do so when I fucking please to. You hear me? Dick? Fuck you. Stay out of my chat, dickhead. Be part of the conversation or shut your fucking mouth. Saying the same thing without realize. Yeah, sure. I'm saying the same thing as you. I'm just saying it completely different, emphasizing things completely different, and definitely keeping apart the convention of weighing things using, like, the system for that, the metric system and all that. Yeah, linear scale system for weighing versus atomic weight, which is a ratio based convention. Different. Doesn't really apply to mechanical weighing, the actual physical action procedure. Doesn't work like that. It's about ratios. How much of this versus how much of that. Yeah, that's the difference. Different type of convention. You block the idea of atomic weight. Yeah, because it doesn't work. If you take some molecule or some atom and then you transform it, you alter it to the state that it becomes a gas, then suddenly you can't weigh it on the scale anymore like that. Not in the regular weighing system, right? Yeah, you have to go to, like, vacuum weighing with all its complications to even be able to register any kind of stable weight, which won't be air weight anymore, which is what regular weight is. Yeah, it's actually not you can't weigh gases in regular air weight convention. You have to use vacuum weight and all that, which is quite hazardous. But mostly it's just, well, you just don't weigh frickin' gases. That's usually the solution. It's just like, let's not get to the point of nonsense of trying to weigh gases. Yeah, that's what really happens. Yeah, they don't weigh gases in expanded state. That's a waste of time. What they do instead is, well, they compress it. Yeah, compress it. Yeah, because you're not gonna weigh 1 kilogram of air in its expanded state on the scale. Now, will you? Because it's not gonna register anything. It's just gonna register the balloon weight, and that is it. Because gases in their expanded state don't weigh. Even though they might have mass, might have an atomic mass. There's substance there. But if you're going to weigh it in its expanded state, well, it's going to be surrounded by the same material roughly, and so it's not going to weigh properly then. It's not going to give that 1 kilogram like that. Expanded gas worth a kilogram, right? You take like gas, you compress it, it becomes a liter of that compressed gas, and it weighs like a kilogram. Let's just say it like that, right? I don't know any gas specifically, the weight ratio, whatever. And then you take that gas and you fill a really large balloon with all that gas. Yeah, the balloon weighs like I don't know, 100 grams or something. Probably more. So you take that off the scale before you then fill it up, and then you weigh it. Well, guess what? That balloon, that big balloon sitting on that scale containing 1 kilogram of expanded gas, it's not going to register a kilogram. Get it? The point. That is the point. When you let gas expand into a container to a natural state, not compressed, it's not going to register. It's not going to get the actual weight, the compressed weight. It's not the same. That's why they don't do it. It's an effector. What the fuck does that have to do with it? What the fuck? No, a kilogram is a vector quality. Weight, when you use the convention of weighing, it is a vector quality. Yeah. You don't weigh things by putting them up against a scale. You put them on a scale. Yeah? Oh my god, just shut your fucking mouth, man. I'm so sick of you. You keep yapping on! Saying the same garbage! Fucking done with you. I don't want you back, man. You just ramble like a fucking gamma. Shut the hell up. God damn it. I'm so sick of this. Alright. Thanks everyone for coming. I hope you liked this show. If you didn't, then you're fucking retarded. Or you just don't get it and you're stubborn as shit. Alright? If you did like it, then please don't forget to Rogan's it up. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification so you know when I'm going live, which is normally 1 p.m. Amsterdam time in the weekdays and 2 p.m. Amsterdam time in the weekend. And please also do support me through the PayPal, Patreon. That's it. But it would be much appreciated. I could still use the support. Would be really great to have some. And then I'll get through this month well. So please keep the support coming. That will be great. And we'll have more of these types of shows. And that will be awesome. Because I love those back and forth. I just don't like it when I have to like spend an hour saying the same shit over and over again and somebody just not getting it. That wears on me. But I guess it's a typical hazard when dealing with globers and anti-flat earthers and just really stupid, stubborn people. Right, I don't think I can explain my case here any more clearly than I have on today's show. Like, I don't want to. If you don't get it, then go fuck yourself. I mean, really. If you don't get it after this, then go fuck yourself. Your problem. Not mine. I get it. I'm able to explain it. I have explained it. My explanation is consistent. My explanation is provable. It is what it is. It's true. And if you don't get it, it's your fucking problem, not mine. Stop whining about the same shit over and over again when you clearly don't even get what I'm talking about. Right. So, but hey, it is what it is. Right, so I'll be back tomorrow with Flat Earth Early Bird number 1566. Oh yeah, and today's Easter, too. Almost forgot. Right. But I'm not eating any chocolate eggs anyway. I'm just having pizza. It's an Easter pizza, I guess. Which looks exactly like the regular pizza I eat every time I get pizza. E-star, yay. Yeah, I don't really care that much. I mean, some people are really into it, others not so much. I mean, I like the old tradition finding eggs, but that's like a rural tradition, really. This chocolate eggs is just all the grabbled version of it, like just to pump more drugs into you in the form of sugar. So, anyway. Making pizza. Oh, cool. Cleaned your oven. That's funny. I cleaned the oven too yesterday. It's time to do that. Right. Anyway, I'll be back tomorrow with Flat Earth Early Bird number 1566. Did I already say that? Back on a Monday. So it's going to be 1 p.m. Amsterdam time. I hope to see you there. Right. So I guess I'll see you around in the chats here. Except for Glenn Saltschwitz. I'm really sick of this guy now. Like, dude, I just unbanned you. Because I told you I didn't like you just blabbering like that. And guess what you do? You fill half the screen of my chat with the same shit. Well, you will then stay kicked. Yeah? If you can't even recognize why you were banned when it is being told to you and you do the same shit, well then you don't have a place here. Yeah? This is not an animal shelter. This is class for people that have a grip on themselves and that learn to do that. If you don't learn it, then you have no place here. Right. Anyway, have a nice Easter day. And yeah, I hope you got good weather like I do. It's really beautiful out here. Better. The clouds are gone. It does look a bit like hazy more at the horizon, but it is still very beautiful. It does also feel warmer. You hear all the birds sing. Right. Anyway, happy Easter weekend. And until the next video, keep it flat.